Welcome everyone to another startup and complete car documentation. What we're looking at today is a 2014 Kia Cadenza. This Cadenza is painted in smoky blue. Got smart key access on the front doors. On the key fob, you have the buttons for lock, unlock, trunk release, and panic. The front door panels have storage areas with bottle holders. This one does have a premium Infinity sound system. Of course, you get power windows, locks, and mirrors. And you've also got two-person memory settings for the driver's seat. It has a black interior with Nappa leather seat upholstery. Both front seats are fully powered. The driver's one also gets power lumbar and power thigh extension. But now that we're behind the wheel, let's go ahead and start the engine. And of course, along with smart key, it does have push button ignition. The Kia Cadenza was a front-wheel drive-based full-size sedan that was produced for 2 generations in total, spanning in the US market from model years 2014 through 2020. While Kia may be a mainstream brand and not a luxury one, the Cadenza was very much intended to be a sophisticated, luxurious, well-equipped car, and I believe helped play a part in the 2010s of building up Kia's reputation as a company that could absolutely hang with its rivals. Replacing the Kia Amonte, the Cadenza was slotted in Kia's lineup above the midsize Optima. But the Cadenza ended up not being Kia's flagship sedan, as that title went to the rear-wheel drive-based Kia K900, Kia's platform counterpart to the Hyundai Equus and Genesis G90. Therefore, the front-wheel drive Cadenza was more of a platform sibling to the Hyundai Azera. 2020 would be the last year for the Cadenza in the US, as the model was discontinued due to, stop me if you've heard this one, sedans, especially full-size ones, simply losing popularity in favor of crossovers. But anyhow, this 2014 we have here represents the Cadenza's first generation, codenamed VG, which was produced in the US from model years 2014 through 2016. Although 2014 marked its domestic debut, the first-gen Cadenza had actually been produced internationally since 2010 as the Kia K7. In the US market for 2014, the Cadenza was offered with one sole engine, transmission, and drivetrain combo, in the form of a 3.3-liter V6 making 293 horsepower, paired to a 6-speed automatic and front-wheel drive. The one in this video is pretty loaded with the premium and technology packages. Competitors for the Cadenza in 2014 included other full-size sedans like the Toyota Avalon and Nissan Maxima. In the instrument cluster, we have 3 analog gauges, which are your tachometer, fuel gauge, and temperature gauge, while the speedometer is part of this large digital information display, which can be done through via these controls on the steering wheel. You have your main menus with trip computers, driving aids, audio, compass, and then all sorts of settings. At the time of filming, this Cadenza has 70,309 miles on it. It has a 4-spoke design, heated, leather and wood, multifunctional steering wheel. As for controls, on the bottom spokes, on this side, you have your Bluetooth controls, and then your information display controls. Up here you'll find your cruise control. It does have Smart Cruise, gap adjust for that, and your voice command button. And then right here you have your audio controls. You also have paddle shifters to manually shift the transmission. And the steering wheel is power, tilt, and telescopic. Fuse panel below there. You have your power fuel door and trunk releases. Panel dim, blind spot monitoring, lane departure warning, traction control toggles, climate vent for the driver. On this side is your exterior lighting stock, and on this side is your wiper stock. Going down the center of the interior, speaker up top, central climate vents, got the touchscreen interface for your UVO infotainment system. We'll go over that more in a bit. You have an analog clock. You have dual zone automatic climate controls, hazard switch, CD player slot. You have a set of physical radio controls along with some physical infotainment system controls. Behind this cover is some storage, along with a 12-volt power outlet, a USB port, and an aux port. Right here are 2 cup holders. Putting it in reverse does reveal a backup camera with stationary guidance lines. The parking brake is electronically operated. You also have auto hold. There's that toggle for the heated steering wheel. You can also raise or lower your rear sunshade. The driver's seat is 3-stage heated and cooled, and the front passenger seat is 2-stage heated, which I have never seen that before, by the way. The driver's seat is cooled, but the front passenger seat is not. But at least it is still heated. And it's also weird how the driver's seat gets 3 stages of heating, but the passenger only gets 2. If you're riding shotgun, you're just going to have to make do with the climate controls. Only the driver gets to have the cooled seat. Interesting, but nonetheless, in there, center console, 12-volt power outlet. The glove box is lockable. One thing I noticed, even the A-pillars and the whole headliner and the sun visors have this really premium feeling, kind of like velour trim. Surprisingly premium feel. Both sun visors do have vanity mirrors, lights, and card holders. You have an auto-dimming rear view, got a compass, garage home link. On the overhead console, you have a sunglass holder, overhead lighting, and the one-touch power controls for your dual-pane sunroof. The front passenger and they're both rear passengers on the sides get grab handles. Finally, here's that UVO infotainment system. Thing that's nice about this one is that you get AM, FM, Sirius XM, Bluetooth audio streaming, plus you still get a CD player, so plenty of ways to listen to music. You can pair a phone, any media connections you might have, seek track, You also have navigation in here, which is nice. Navigation menu. You can show nearest restaurants, different points of interest. And of course gas stations. And then you got all sorts of settings. But now we'll go ahead and roll down the driver's window and take a look at the engine bay. Both front windows are fully automatic. This Cadenza is equipped with the optional 19-inch alloy rims. Powering the Cadenza is Hyundai Kia's Lambda 3.3-liter naturally aspirated V6 engine. It's an all-aluminum power plant with dual overhead camshafts, 4 valves per cylinder, direct injection, and variable valve timing. Horsepower is rated at 293 at 6,400 RPM, while torque is rated at 255 pound-feet at 5,200 RPM. This engine is paired to a 6-speed automatic transmission with manual shiftability, with power being directed solely to the front wheels. Running on regular unleaded with an 18.5-gallon fuel tank, EPA estimates for the 14 Cadenza are 19 mpg in the city and 28 mpg on the highway. It has a McPherson strut front suspension and a multi-link rear suspension. Stopping the Cadenza are 4-wheel disc brakes with vented front rotors. Curb weight for this one is roughly 3,800 pounds. As you saw earlier, the fuel cap is on the driver's side. The back door panels also have storage areas. Backseat passengers do get 2-stage outboard heated rear seats. Both front seats have mat pockets in the backs. In addition to the 2-stage heated outboard seats, rear passengers also get their own set of climate vents, as well as a folding center armrest with 2 cup holders and trunk pass-through. Coat hook on this side. And space back here, I'm about 6'1", and I put the driver's seat where I would be pretty comfortable driving. And space back here is impeccable. I mean, look at this leg room. I mean, that's awesome. Headroom is pretty good. My head's not even touching the roof yet. And honestly, I am just really impressed with this Cadenza. I think this would be an excellent luxury car on a budget, because it really feels nice and luxurious in here. You got so many luxury features. You got your heated, cool driver's seat, you know, dual power front seats, power tilt and telescoping steering wheel, memory seats, sunroof, nav, heated rear seats. You get a nice luxury car. I think it looks pretty decent on the outside. I like the rims, the 19s on this one. If you could find a used one of these that's in good shape and well maintained, I think this would make an excellent car. If you're looking for something luxurious on a budget, I think these are quite the bargains. I think this is a 10-year-old car, and even 10 years ago, Hyundai and Kia were really starting to step up their game. I can already tell with this one. This feels way more premium than, 10 years before this came out, you thought of Hyundais and Kias as like cheap throwaway cars. This does not feel like that. So very impressed with this car. I would definitely say go for it if you can find one of these on the cheap. Dual exhaust. Trunk space in the Cadenza is 15.9 cubic feet. Spare jack. And does this thing seriously 10 years later still have the protective plastic from when it was new? That's interesting. I'll leave that for whoever wants to take that off. Yeah, like I said, I'm just blown away by this car. I think this is might be one of the best bargain luxury cars, or luxury cars on a budget out there. Anyhow, thanks for checking out this tour of this 2014 Kia Cadenza. And as always, stay on the lookout for future tours.